Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about the possibility of a lockout or a strike by the WNBA. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do. We just got 5,000 subscribers, going for 10, and we need your help. Rob, I don't know what's going on with the WNBA, but they're delusional. There's talk of a strike. There's talk of a lockout. This league cannot afford to wreck the momentum they have that was caused mainly by Caitlin Clark, because people get turned off by strikes and lockouts, and it's hurt every league in the past, Rob.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember the baseball lockout, basketball, especially the baseball lockout. That really hurt them, But yeah, for them to even think, I mean, I know they want more money, but you have to gain money first. But it's their fault. They could have really made even more money this year off if they had just focused on Caitlin Clark and just propped her up like they should have been. We talked about this with the marketing. It could have been more as far as as far as revenue and things like that, because she was filling arenas. She was filling every arena she went to. She was filling it up,
Right.
and so they didn't capitalize on that.
The league was becoming slightly more popular, but this gave it a big boom, and they need to take advantage of that. The collective bargaining agreement expires after this season. So there's been rumors about a lockout, there's been rumors about a strike. And sports business expert Joe Pomplanio explained why an ugly lockout is likely as players look for higher wages. He said, I feel like we are quickly headed to a scenario where there's going to be a lockout in the WNBA. I think the players just have a much higher perception around their dollar value worth than the league is actually worth. If you look at the WNBA attendance, viewership, merchandise sales, everything is up. They're making a lot more money. Now, making is revenue. I just want to stop that right there. And that doesn't, there's no profit. They're supposed to lose 50 million this year. So I want to stop right after that sentence. He went on, TV rights, everything. But most don't understand the dynamic of the NBA owning a large chunk of the business. I guess they own 42%, the last I saw. The owners own a large chunk of the revenue stream. Aaliyah Boston said she wants commas in her paycheck. She said this on 60 Minutes. I mentioned this before.
Right.
$1 million plus, essentially. And that's not happening anytime soon in the WNBA. Asia Wilson makes $200,000 a year. We're going to get to a point where that sets in as reality. So I think it's crazy that they're even talking about that. He also went on, he goes, I think the players are going to have a really hard time dealing with that because they're going down the road and seeing these sold out arenas. The economics of these just don't give that opportunity to them. First of all, they're not seeing sold out arenas. They're only seeing sold out arenas when Caitlin Clark plays. So that's not even true.
Right. That's why I saw that. When I read the article, I'm like, no, they only sold out when she's playing against the other team. And the fans are cheering for her. Which is it's not really a away game.
Well, they get a percentage of the revenue, 10% is my understanding. Yes, the revenue will go up this year, but this is the first year. They still lost money last year, so they have to keep that in mind.
Right.
So I'm not sure they have a lot of leverage for that reason. And the TV rights just got signed, and they went up almost four times. I guess 60 million to 220 million. And that money, they don't have that money yet.
No.
So, and there may be some clauses in their negotiations in terms of a minimum amount of viewership that has to take place for them to get that type of money. It might not be guaranteed all $220 million. That's part of the contract. Mm-hmm. So it was always part of the NBA negotiations. So it's unclear to me that it's guaranteed. So if they do things like go on strike, then the WNBA locks them out or whatever, this league is at the rock bottom before Caitlin Clark into it. They cannot afford something like that. This would be a nightmare for the league, Rob.
They essentially would be done. They would be done because then they would have to try to get fans back. Like I said, with lockouts and strikes, they don't really work out well for a league. And they're already trying to get fans in, but then they're trying to get fans in. They've brought them in, or Caitlin Clark has brought them in, but they don't want those fans. They don't want those fans.
Well, Rob, they hit their peak with total fans before this year at 2,391,000. That was in 2002. They threatened to go on strike in 2003, and every year after that, went down until 2008 when Candace Parker came into the league. So that hurt him for 5 years. And then it went down again, Rob, and then it went down to almost very little because of the pandemic. And then it went slightly up to pre-pandemic levels before this year. So the league wasn't doing well, despite what ESPN wanted to tell you. And so they can't afford to do that, Rob. The negative publicity from a league that doesn't make money, at least in other sports, Rob, they were making money. They just want a bigger piece of the pie for profit, Rob, not for revenue. They're just revenue. All they have is revenue right now. They get a percentage of. They don't have any profit. They're not getting a percentage of the profit.
They're not getting anything. They're not getting any profit at all. So how can they sit there and try to say, oh well, we're gonna, and then they only play what, 40 games?
Well, next year they're playing 44.
Ooh, 4 more games. Wow, that's good. And then the way their playoffs is set up is really crappy.
Well, this could be the best thing for Caitlin Clark, because it could put the league under, and then a new league could start. Caitlin Clark could have a lot more say, because right now she doesn't seem to have any say in that league. She's just kind of taking the high road. I mean, she may have some more influence and say later on, but this year she just kind of like, did whatever came her way and worked through it. But if this league goes under, someone else will start a league. And I think Jason Whitlock just did a video on that, suggesting this would be great for Elon Musk to start a league called XX, or someone from Saudi Arabia, like they did with golf, would start a league up and make Caitlin Clark the focal point of it and just draw away the best players and the players who don't want to be social warriors, like I should say. And
there's a lot of money out there. I mean, the foreign money, like you said, the Chinese. That's why the Chinese league is the owner of the Liberty, and that's why the Liberty are doing so well this year, because they made the effort to bring in good players. So and the owner is Chinese. So the bottom line is money. So if they have this investments from foreign, like you said, foreign, they can say like, "Oh, see you later. We don't need you."
Right. With a fresh league, they could get a better commissioner, a better marketing CEO, better attitude from the players. They could get some better markets than they have right now, Rob. Some of the markets aren't doing very well. They only got like 6,000 fans. And the arena down in Dallas is very small. And they could get better refs, God forbid.
Yeah.
Hopefully they could. But maybe they could start with a fresh attitude from the players. They're not trying to hold down the star of the league.
Well, I said this before all through our videos, Mark. This is the deciding year for them to really take it. I mean, next year
they blew it.
Yeah. Well, next year they're going to have these players coming in. I mean, and I don't think they're going to be as large as Caitlin Clark is. So what they need to do is take what they have right here with Caitlin Clark and say, okay, we got a second year here. She's Rookie of the Year. I mean, there's so much. And forget about all these other black lesbians. Well, forget about them. It's about you're trying to make money and save the league. I wouldn't care what they thought. I mean, so if you don't like it, I would say give them, like the old heave ho. If you don't like it, then leave the league. That's what I would say.
They really need a fresh start, and I think that would be the best thing for them, was this league to go under and start another one. There's only so many people interested in watching black lesbians be really physical with each other. So that really, I mean, there's only so much of a market for that, regardless of whether they're tattooed or not. And just women in general being overly physical with each other. People want to see more exciting brand of basketball and a higher skill level. And I think these women are delusional, and they need to get their skill level up too. That's another thing they have to do. They have to work on their game more. And I think that if they can get a fresh start, that may be a way to turn this around, Rob, because right now, people have a bad perception of the players and their attitude.
Oh yeah,
and that's not going to change overnight.
No, I mean, and when the league promotes that type of brand too, that's not good either. So they have to change their brand, I mean, and start promoting the good things about their game, And like I said, they don't have to really even focus on Caitlin Clark. Just look at all different. There's a bunch of different players that are out there, but I mean, put her out there and make her they're going to have to, and the other players just have to deal with it because they know she's the moneymaker. Sorry, you had your chance, A.J. Wilson and all these other players. You don't even know their names. Breonna Stewart, they're not. They got their own little league. I want to see how that's going to go.
Well, they got their own little cliques, Rob, which is part of the problem with the Yukon Mafia, the South Carolina Mafia, and they control too much of the league. And that's what's going on. I mean, that's how they kept Caitlin Clark off the Olympic team, because of that, and the blacks and the lesbians and Yukon women, and there was too much politics going on there, Robin. And they need to take the politics out. They need to take the social warrior thing out. 99% of it out. People don't want that in sports. It hurt the popularity of the NFL and the NBA, at least temporarily, when there was too much of that. And they could at least afford it. They bounce back, and the NFL bounced back, but the NBA hasn't bounced back completely, and the WNBA can't afford it. So they need to take that out, and they need to be reasonable about this, because if they go on strike, I think that's it for the league. And I'm sure a new league will start, which is probably, like I said, a good thing.
Yeah, it would maybe be a good thing. Who knows? But
if you do on strike, you have to have leverage. And if the league's not making money, you don't have leverage. It looks like they're going to lose more money this year than they did before. Supposedly $50 million. So I don't know if the NBA is going to want to keep putting more money into it. If they got people who don't even appreciate the fact that they're a welfare league and they go on strike, they go, how dare them? Forget it. Okay, we're done with this league.
That'd be it. Or just like when you're an older kid now. You think you know so much. Okay, here you go. Kick them out of the house. You see how you do when you're out of the house.
Yeah, you're in the street, right?
Paying the rent. Yeah, not repaying your rent and all the other bills. Well, see how you do.
Well, if they can wrest control away from the people that are causing problems in this league by starting a new league, that'd be the greatest thing in the world. And I think it would be, where Caitlin Clark go into a league where she's appreciated and not hated. And I don't want to hear anymore that she's not hated. I don't want to hear anymore that there's not something going on about the attitude toward Caitlin Clark. Even the refs are against her. It's so ridiculous. The commissioner won't even support her. Won't protect her. This league disgusts me. And I hope the league goes under if that's what happens, so they can start a new one. There's enough interest for one league, and that's it. So it's not going to be two. A new league starts. One of them is going to go under. So that's for sure. There's not enough interest for that. That's what happened, Rob, before. I remember there was 2 women basketball leagues. I said, 2? There's barely enough interest for one. Why couldn't these 2 leagues get together and compromise and just, say, okay, here, let's get together, and this is ridiculous. And I don't know. And it didn't. Of course, one went under. The only reason the WNBA didn't go under because it was sponsored by the NBA. So,
well, it was like the ABA and NBA. You had 2 leagues. And they eventually combined.
Right, and NFL and AFL. This has happened before. So, but there was more of a demand for football and basketball than there is for the WNBA right now. So that's why I think one's going to go under real quick.
Yeah.
It's going to happen very quickly when one goes under, another one starts. But I hope it does. The women's basketball needs a fresh league. This league, I can't see you fixing the problems in this league overnight. They're ingrained, and it's not going to stop. It's going to take 10, 20 years to get the attitudes out of there, Rob, and the control that's going on with all the politics and the cliques and stuff like that. So I'm all for it. If they want to destroy the league, fine. Another one will start, because Caitlin Clark can start her own league because she's the draw. All she's got to do is draw away the best players with the best attitudes from the WNBA and the exciting stars coming out of college basketball, and she'll have a new league. Right. And I hope that happens, because this league, I don't even want to watch this league. So I'll be honest.
Yes.
It's like watching Caitlin Clark. So we'll see what happens, Rob. All right. Let us know what you think down below. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next videos. And join us for our live show. We'll talk about this on Monday night, except for major holidays, 6 to 8 Eastern time. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to donate to this channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Let's go, Mets.
Oh, we got to take that out, Rob.
No, we are not. We'll hunt you down.
We'll see you in the next video, Rob.
I'll hunt you down, man. I know you live.
I have to take that out.